kind of, when we talk about it, they'd be like, oh no, I don't care, this. He'll seem like up for negotiation, but knowing him and how he can be, yeah, I was like, probably not.
So, I decided to date an African man. Coming from my Western Jamaicanized culture and being all, free-spirited and everybody regular. Like, everybody normal, everybody equal, right? So, there's this particular guy who, excuse you, you tell us?
I didn't say that. What? It's just...
Not such has ever happened. So, right? There was this particular guy who, I don't even know how we started dating, because honestly, when we started talking, I did not like him. I did not like him. I didn't like the way he spoke. Like, there were just things that he would say, and I'm just like, why would you even think like that? Like, it was very... I feel like it was one of those type of Stockholm, not really Stockholm, but quote unquote Stockholm syndrome, where you spend so much time with someone and you just automatically start liking them. Because
but Stockholm was like a villain. But
he wasn't really a villain. But I just don't know what to describe it as. It was just that we started spending a lot of time because I was helping him out with his thesis paper and stuff like that. And I guess spending a lot of time working on research and stuff, and then I grew fond of him. I don't know how. But yeah, I remember this one time.
He's so unattractive.
He's a really good person, right? If you're watching this video, I think you know yourself, right? But let's tell you how the story started, right? So this particular night, I was there helping him out on his paper and research and whatsoever, and then it was so late in the night till the point that I fell asleep. Or he fell asleep. I think he fell asleep before me, right? So he fell asleep before me at my place while I was still working on the documents and stuff like that. But then again, in my head, because I wasn't seeing him as anybody, like for me, it was just like, oh, and this person, we lived in the same building, like the same apartment complex. So it wasn't like, oh, the person had to travel elsewhere. Like literally, we're in the same building, apartment complex and whatsoever. So he fell asleep. So it was nothing. I was just like, ah. And then I had like a little mat thingy in my room, like a rug, this little cute rug or whatsoever. So I think I was there for a while until eventually I had gone on the bed, but you know how the bed is like this, the head and the tail, and I think I laid like across this way while they were just, so it was really nothing. Don't even get any crazy idea. It was nothing like that, right? Why are you mean 69? Anyways, right? So they're sleeping, and then suddenly there was like the first outstretched arm.
So rough.
It's because I was just like, that thing when you wake up, but you don't want to wake up, so you're just like, half asleep, and you're just like, what is going on? Like, what are you doing? But I wasn't saying this out loud because I was just like, I don't want to create a scene because what am I supposed to do? Should I still be asleep? Or where's this coming from? We've never had that type of conversation. Like, what is this, right? So, and then you notice the person scooch over closer again in the bed. I was like, that thing, he starts looking at the sun. He's like, where's the sun rising? Like, when is the morning?
You seem a bit parched.
How soon is this morning gonna come? Because I don't know what to say, and I was just like, oh, okay. We're just gonna pretend like I don't know what's going on, and I'm just gonna pretend like I'm still sleeping. And right. So again, nothing happened. So the morning came, and this dude just spoke like it was nothing. Like he didn't try to make a move. Like he was just regular. Like it's like what? Anyways, we started talking from there. Like talking. Would hang out a few times, but I was getting fond of this certain community that he's from, right? So I was like, oh, I like these vibes. These people, I really love their vibes, and I was just like, I like this.
A lot of food came from it, so I didn't complain.
Yeah, they were always cooking. There was always gatherings, social lights, and so I was just like, I loved it, right? And
see when I said like a hello, that's not enough for this type of person. Like, so for some of us, like it's nice to get together and all, but it's just like a personal space.
There was this particular event, like this one time he came over, we had eaten. No, I had eaten, and he was like, "Oh, did you cook or whatsoever?" But that's the thing with like college life, or at least in China, like everyone, like it's like everyone's always cooking something, and you just go over to separate, like, "Oh, have you cooked or whatsoever?" So it's not like, oh, he was coming from me especially to cook or whatsoever. He was just like, "Did you cook? Because I just got in late and I haven't eaten or whatsoever." And I was like, "Oh yeah, we have food, right?" So bear in mind, we have already eaten. This is like probably some 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, right? So I'm there on my computer. I don't know, I was watching something or whatsoever, and then he came. I was like, oh, there's food in the microwave or whatever, right? The man ate it.
Why are you always finding me
right? Me and African men. The man ate it, right? And then he left the plate there. So I was like, take the plate to the kitchen. Who said me? I got the speech of my life. You uncultured girl. Do you know I have never washed a plate in my life?
You can talk like
okay, maybe he didn't say it in that point, but it's not exactly his words. Like, I've never washed a plate in my life. Like, my sisters washed my plates for me. My mom washed my plates for me. Do you know where I'm coming from? Do you know the culture I'm coming from? Didn't your mother grow you well? How can you ask me to go and wash my own plate? Like, this was literally the words he was saying. And I was so shocked. And I'm just like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, first of all, you expect me to get out of my bed that I am in to go and wash your plate that you just came back to eat. First, listen, like, if I was eating, right? Don't get me wrong. If I was also eating, and it was like in the middle of the day or something, I don't have a problem taking his plate and my plate to go wash it. But everybody in the house eats already, like everybody in their bed. Literally everybody in their bed. Like, it was night. You're the only person and you want me to get out of my bed to go wash it. I was mad. And then the funny thing said I'm uncultured because I didn't go to wash
and
your
you
plate.
came and asked for my food. It's like,
bro. It's like, is this what they do with Jamaican women? Blah blah blah. I was just like, hey. That's when I realized that, bro, this, like, the culture thing was like, it was no joke. Like, this African men felt a sense of entitlement. I remember crying when he left for days. I don't know what kind of juju he had on for days. Like I look back and I was like, what the hell? But the story ended so dirty because I remember trying to me dirty, man. I remember having found out that this guy was having a thing with one of my classmates. Okay, this particular classmate of ours was from a particular community that's very tight.
Yeah, we can say that.
A very tight-knit community, right? And I remember...
And very strict people.
Very strict as well. So you can figure out whatever you want to do with that information, right? So I remember seeing a photo with him and her and some of her friends.
Man, China was the pit.
Bro, you know this person. He was like, oh yeah, you know, before he moved into our apartment complex, he was living elsewhere and she was his neighbor. He's like, oh, that was my neighbor, blah blah blah. I was like, oh cool. I didn't think about anything then. Girl, always go with your instinct. You never lie, because I was like, oh cool, you know, stupid me. Anyways, then again there was this other I think her birthday had come up or some other function came up. And he was legit the only man there. Yeah. I was just like, huh?
That's a bit odd.
First of all, even her rest of our community male members she didn't even invite. How did you, who is not even a part of her community, got invited to that birthday party? And you're the only guy. There was no other guy. Like, what is that? You're like, oh no, we've always been good friends, blah blah blah. So I started growing suspicious, right? No, I started being very suspicious, right? Then this dude, there was this one time this guy was just like, you know, this man fooled me. I told him before there was this one friend of his that's always been asking him like, oh, let's hang out. I mean, he's been pushing it off and just like, no, I don't have time. But then he couldn't push it off anymore. He's just, okay, fine, I'll just go. But the way this man told the story, I thought it was a Chinese person, because these Chinese people, no, I'm telling you, these Chinese people always want to hang out with international persons. He's like, you know, he's been saying no, and then he's just gotten annoyed. And he's like, okay, fine, let's just go out once and then you can stop acting. So I thought it was a Chinese person. I was just like, oh,
a Chinese man.
Right? I don't know at which point this man's tongue slipped. And this girl's name came out. I was like, hey, back up. What do you mean? Like, you went to the movies with this person? You told me you were going out to the movies. He's like, yeah, she was the one I was talking about. I was like, oh. So, when you were telling me the story, why didn't you say, oh, X, Y, and Z person has been asking me to go to the movies and I've been saying no, but now I'm
like, by then were you guys like a thing?
Yeah, by that time we basically started dating. I feel like that's the reason why he was also being cunning about not even mentioning it. He was like, oh, this friend of mine.
Okay.
Because I assumed that this was a Chinese person. I'm just like, you went to the movies with her? Like, I just didn't understand. But he was like, oh no, it's nothing like that, blah, 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 whatever. I was like, all right, cool. And we had another friend of ours, this sweetheart, right? We went to her birthday, right? At this girl's birthday gathering at her house or whatever. I remember this classmate of ours, side chick or main chick, I don't even know which chick, the other chick, right? I remember her talking to another friend, which is our classmate of us, like she was mentioning this person's name. So I was just like, And then she was texting. I think like this time we were all using WhatsApp. So I know his profile picture. No, this was WhatsApp. Oh. It was on WhatsApp.
Really?
Yeah. She was texting him on WhatsApp, and I know his profile picture. So at one point I glanced at her phone and I saw that it was him that she was texting, because they were texting the whole, like she wasn't even like into the party. Like she was just on her phone. I was just like in my head I'm like, but I was gonna go ask. Like, so I was just like,
it's her brother.
I went home and I was mad because I was like, at this point you're already gone to the movies. Now she's spending the whole amount of hours at the party. The whole party you're there texting, right? And I remember, I think at that point my laptop had spoiled, so he had given me his laptop to use, right? So I was just home and I just took his laptop and I went down and I was just like, here. And then he's like, wow, okay, keep it, I'm done. He's like, what do you mean, what happened? And I'm like, I don't need your laptop. Like, are you giving me back what I gave to you? Do you know what insult that is in my culture? To give me back? I'm just like, you know what? You go give it to person, right? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I just went off, right? And I went upstairs and then he came. I said, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, you told me there was nothing between you two. Now tell me exactly why you guys have been texting the whole day. Like, what is it? He's like, oh no, this. Even if I wanted to date her, I couldn't date her. Her father would have never allowed. So why are you even getting worked up about that? There is nothing there. I told her she's being my friend, blah, 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 whatever. Man was just there talking. He was just finding an excuse and I was just listening. I was like, okay, fine. Right? But it wasn't really fine. So there was this one time.
You say it like that. But it wasn't really fine.
It wasn't. This one time he's like, he just didn't settle with me. So he went to the bathroom, took a shower. I don't know if this was the next day or something like that, but I remember I locked the room.
What the hell?
I locked it because I didn't want him to come out. So I locked myself in the room and I had his phone and I knew his password, right? So I went in and for me, I don't have time to be scrolling. I just use key search. Kiss. Keywords. So we just see who are you having love? Who are you having this type of conversation with?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
My father. The things that I saw, I was like, I was shaking. Like, that thing where I was shaking. I just remember taking my phone.
Did we know like that? Did me and him know?
I don't know if
I don't think so. I don't think you told us. Because I didn't. Whoa.
I took up my phone and I was just taking pictures. I took pictures because I was just like, what? Because I literally believe. I had no reason not to believe. I had my doubt, but I was just like, I'm giving you a benefit of the doubt. Like, you've explained yourself, and I was like, I don't need to, like, why? And this was my classmate. So I was just like, knowing her community, I was like, yeah, there's probably nothing. There's no way she would go against her community because they're very a certain type of way. So I was just like, nah. And I was just like, what? I left. Like, I think he came out, he realized I wasn't in the house. Then he came to my apartment. He's like, oh, why did you leave? Why did you stop nothing? Because I couldn't say, I searched your phone and I saw it. I was like,
so you never showed him the...
No, I didn't eventually show him. I don't know what argument we had.
I
don't even think we had an argument. I don't think in the night I just couldn't sleep and I just started sending him the pictures.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly what I would have done.
You can't say, you know what this man do? So you went through my phone. I trusted you enough to know my password and you sat and searched through my phone. I don't know how this man flipped the whole game on my head. I was just like, hey. So,
I don't have the patience.
What are you talking about? This guy switched the whole ball. I cannot believe I trusted you. Do you know the information I have from my company that's on my phone?
Yeah, you did not tell us because it was news to me. Guys, there's like 3 of us. There's 3 of us and we know everything. Well, we thought we knew everything. We think we know everything. But
listen, he was like, wow. I thought, do you know because this person was on a certain type of scholarship at the school, right? So they were sent by the company, and he worked for the government, a certain class of division of the government back in this country. So they're like, do you know the type of information I have on my phone? If this information get breached, blah, 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 blah. I was just like, first of all, I didn't go into your phone searching for information on whatever your stupid country or your government is doing. That is not my headache. I don't even think I looked for specific words. So the civil court to confirm my intuitions or whatever. So there was none of that conversation. You can't come and try to blame this on me. I was just done. Yeah. And then he came on his knees.
Really?
I'm telling you, on his knees. I'm sorry. You know, I know you never have to talk to me again, and I'm about to leave in a couple of days, and I don't want us to leave in this bad vibes or this bad phase and blah blah, yeah, whatever. And I apologize. I'm literally on my knee. Do you know what it means for a man to go on his knee to apologize? Ask any other person from my country; they will tell you whatever. You've been so good to me. I'm just like,
what?
Like, you know, I'm packing up. You want to come and help me out? Let's just talk it out. I know you don't want to talk to me, but he did that thing where I was mad, but he knew how to, like, oh, come on. I know, like, after the whole apology thing, like, I think a couple of days after he was packing to leave, and I was like, just come and come help me pack and whatever. And then the other people were under there. So I was just like, oh, fuck. So anyway, I think that's what hurt me more. It was because of the whole situation leading up to him leaving. So it wasn't just him leaving the country and I was crying. Like, it was just like everything. I was just like, bro, like I just wasted my whole time on this whole situation, and then like just a couple of days before going, I was just
because
like,
I don't care who's around. I would not go. Like, oh, come with me.
So that was the end of Mr. Chocolate
Man. Nasty chocolate man.
Nasty chocolate banana. Because I missed her. Why am I even here? Like literally,
we don't even know what phase she was going through.
I don't know what I was going through. I think I was just.
She just.
I don't know what happened.
She wanted a French man.
I know it was a ginger. It was a ginger.
He was a ginger.
He was a ginger. So it was this ginger man. So.
You just heard a funny little accent, and right? She's like, "Oh my god,
what's that?"
Anyway.
And then we met up for lunch. You know, this really nice uptown restaurant. This one time we were supposed to meet up. We were texting. He's like, "Oh, you should come over." Blah blah blah. And I was just like, oh, "I got
so they get to his place."
I was like, "You're in his place. Just come over and chill for the night." I was just like, "Alright, cool." Nothing happened, guys. I know these stories actually sound like things happened, but nothing literally happened. You know, I went there and it was like, oh, cool. He stayed at a specific hotel, so it was like I went for him at a hotel. He actually lived at the hotel. That was a company. But anyways, we were there chilling and watching a movie. And I don't know how did
I don't even. That's the thing.
Because I had made it clear that I was not going to sleep with any of these people. Like I was just like, where nothing's gonna happen. He's like, yeah, sure, okay, that's fine.
At most, maybe you thought like you'd make out.
Yeah, like I probably could kiss, but nothing beyond that, right? I don't know how the conversation started, but we're like, you know, that kind of pillow talk thing where everybody's in the bed just closing the AC and whatsoever. And then I was told to rub the ass, and it wasn't my ass.
What he wanted you just there. Like.
I thought he wanted like a little sexy seduction, my body. It wasn't that. My man put you over, like literally put you over, and they took my hand and just said, "Keep you up until I fall asleep." I said, like, you know that thing where you're just like,
what the hell, man?
What? Like, you could have freaking man business for myself in the morning. What the hell?
If your mother could see you in that moment.
Like, I'm serious. Like, why people are being some freaky shit? Because I was like a man that wants his mom to be robbed, and it wasn't. You know that thing where you stop and the person kind of like, still kind of like, you know, you would think that person probably has fallen asleep, because I was just like, why like, no, it's like even the whole body. It's like,
it was like a lullaby? Like, so you just give.
I just had to, yeah, it was just like, you know, you had to like.
Was it making sense?
I think I suppressed that memory because by morning I was out. Like,
did you even like say hello
to him after that?
Are you serious?
I swear. I didn't. I think
no. I mean, like as you were leaving.
Yeah, like we left.
Was he asleep? Or you left with him?
Yeah, because he got up and one of the things he was getting, and then we ended up going literally opposite. Not to, first of all, we could have gone in opposite direction, like the night never happened.